We had a fire at the campsite. That's no bueno. Yeah. Hey, I'm David with RV Family.Life, and I was going to make a video for y'all today about how I make carnivore food for travel days. Tanya came out. She started up the Blackstone because we typically start our day eating and making some bacon. And then I'm working, sitting on the bed, and she comes running in and she says, "The Blackstone is on fire!" And that's the kind of thing you don't just pause what you're doing, you run out the door. So thankfully I know where the fire extinguisher is. It's right by our door when we exit the RV. We came out here and pretty much found right where you would see the grease trap on the back. It had a flame, about 8 inches tall, I'd say. Thankfully, our fire extinguisher is fully functional. I've taken this apart, kind of show everybody what happened. So we've had a lot of grease buildup on this thing. This Blackstone gets used 2 to 3 times a day, almost every day. And so a lot of the grease was building up down here where it should just be dripping into the pan. It's been not just dripping into the pan, but it's been dripping, as you can see, all over back here. And I guess enough of it worked its way here this way, so as the flames come out here, they ignited that fat on fire. And you can see I've been trying to clean it. I used Easy Off, and I'm trying to clean it up, and it's taking the paint right off. Now this thing has been overly rusty. We had discovered we had a leak up above this outside kitchen, and water would drip in right here, and that was dripping on the Blackstone. I've since fixed that problem, so it's very possible that could be part of the issue here. I sprayed the fire extinguisher in, that's why you've got all this basically white powder everywhere. Thankfully just 2 quick spurts and that was able to get it. But like, look at this, you can see, I mean, this thing is so greasy, but any effort to clean it, it would just wipe everything away. The text, you can see, you're like, yeah, I'm trying to clean it up, and it's just wiping the text away. A little disappointed in that. Where we're at right now, Walmart doesn't have any of this model left. It's like, I think I paid $170 where it included the legs and a little side table. The side table was the first thing to be absolutely disgusting, and I just tossed that out. We just found an Ace Hardware nearby that appears to have the same 22-inch size Blackstone. It doesn't have the lid on top of it, but I'm okay with that, because part of me wonders if that lid might have been adding to my problem, because I watch where other people will very frequently take off their griddle top, flip it upside down, and they'll clean all this. But doing that with this lid is not as easy to do. So I think we'll go with one without a lid, and then we'll just get one of those like metal things you can put on top of stuff when you absolutely need to trap in the heat. Another thing I wanted to show is how these holes right here, that's all supposed to be flat, and when the griddle would sit there, it would kind of lock in place. And they've just been slowly kind of bending and warping away, and it hasn't sat properly in there either. But we bought this brand new from a Walmart in July of 2021, I believe. I think. Now it's October of 2024, so well over 3 years old. Other people talk about, if you treat your Blackstone right, you could get 30 years out of it. And I'm like, well, they probably also don't use it 2 to 3 times per day. And they probably didn't have a bunch of water dripping down on it that was causing it to rust. So we've got various different reasons why these problems may have come about. So at any rate, it's hard to find this model. Looks like Ace Hardware has it, so let's go. We use the thing 2 to 3 times a day. All right, we are back at the RV. Thankfully, that Ace Hardware looked like it was the last 22-inch Blackstone in this entire area. We've been in Branson, Missouri currently, just passing through here for a little bit, planning to do a review of this RV park and a few attractions in Branson. Anyway, back to the situation. Let's kind of take a look real quick. I'm not in quite the urgent mode at the moment. Just wanted to kind of talk about this. Maybe highlight a few other items that's bothered me about this Blackstone. Especially like when people say, if you take care of these things right, they'll last you for 22 years. You see this right here? The rubber on these grips is literally just giving away. I really think that's just because of too much heat, Just kind of wore it out. And then the new Blackstone, it talks about being able to take the griddle off, flip it upside down for storage purposes. And we've never been able to really do that because it's got the lid built in, which is screwed in place right there. So we've just always traveled with it as is. And really, I'm thinking, well, for one, I'll be watching more videos on how to better take care of these things so that we can hopefully make our new one last a lot longer. But by not having the lid, I think it'll make it so we can break it down like that sooner so that we can see what's going on down here and take better care of it. It's time for me to get the new Blackstone out of the back of the truck. We've got to get it seasoned up because we're hungry. And it's also packing day. So now I've added an extra chore to packing day that we got to do, and work. I got important work to do. The boss is like, hey, where are we at with this? Where are we at with that? I'm like, okay. And one of the things I was thinking about in regards to this thing, and people talk about like sandblasting them, and you know, if we had a home and we had the time, I could see where we would do something to that effect. We don't really have, it's like I can't hold on to this thing, take it back to Texas where we'll sit still for 3 months. I wish we could, because then we could spend the time to rent something, pressure wash it, just clear it all off, paint up parts of it. This is kind of a bummer. I guess it's one of the downsides to RV life. And one of the things that I bought is some of these shields to deflect wind. And I've wondered if some of that, let's get the camera to follow me. No? Maybe? Hey? I'm wondering if my efforts to block the wind from passing through has potentially caused it to maybe cook at a higher temperature and maybe build up some of this excess grease. Hard to say for certain. For right now, I'll move this down to the ground. Oh wow, is that? Yep, got like a powder substance everywhere from spraying the smoke. Fire extinguisher. I don't know why I keep struggling with remembering the words for fire extinguisher. So this should be a match for match. It should essentially be the same foot sizes. There's 6 holes on here, and you could put a 17-inch Blackstone on there if you wanted to. The 22-inch has been such a good fit for us, so I'm just gonna keep going with the 22-inch. So we had this discussion over the last several months that I felt we needed to get a new one because it's been hard to clean and maintain it. Tanya's like, if it works, it works. We don't need to spend the money. It would have cost us about $120 to $130 to get this 22-inch at Walmart. It cost me $170 today to get it at Ace. And this, like I said, I looked all over the place. It's not seasoned to buy grills, so a little bit more difficult to find it. Cost us a little bit extra money because we waited. Oh well, here we are. So first thing I noticed is different is the way that this is the old grease trap would hook onto the kind of the base of the grill. The new one kind of hangs onto the back of the griddle. All right, firing it up for the first time. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's hard to tell. I think I got a flame there. Yep, I got a flame. Okay. So let it heat up on high, about 10 to 15 minutes. Season it with a vegetable oil. I'm not going to do that. We've got leftover like beef tallow and bacon grease. It will be putting it on there, but it needs to heat up for about 15 minutes. So I'm gonna go do work things. Oh, I am about to start my 4th round of seasoning on the Blackstone. It's been going for a while now. Busy guy, it's a busy day. It's packing day. I'm flushing the black tanks. Got a lot going on at work, plus having to deal with this Blackstone emergency. This is some bacon fat I've had in the fridge for a little while. Don't know how old it is, but it's stayed pretty solid. And what I'm doing is, for the 22-inch Blackstone, they said put about like a tablespoon of vegetable oil. They didn't say vegetable oil, they said whatever kind of oil. So I'm just using this, scooping out like 2 chunks of that right there. Hey, will you follow me, camera guy? Huh? Yeah, hey. Kind of putting those on there. Kind of spreading them around a little bit. Now we'll put the spoon back over there. Use my dirty tongs. Yeah, here we go, camera guy. And then after it melts up pretty good, going back over it with a paper towel and just kind of, what I've been doing is bunching up 3 sheets of paper towel with my tongs. Kind of trying to get it evenly spread out all over the top of the Blackstone. And then just keep on letting it cook. It's pooling in the corners. It feels like this thing, it should be flat, and it's bulging up in the middle. I don't like that. Not sure why that is. And then I've got an old drip tray over there that I've been putting those dirty paper towels in. That's our 4th time. Whether or not I need to do a 5th, we'll see. It's looking pretty good. We've been cooking bacon in the air fryer inside in preparation for this as well. Look at that thing smoking. Yeah, smoking real good. Getting it nice and seasoned up there, aren't you? Oh, nice and seasoned, yeah. Sorry, I have a little fun playing around with different accents. What a day. This has been an interesting summer. So we've had to replace the microwave now, and now replacing the Blackstone. And RV life is not cheap. But I have to keep reminding myself that there were things like this that were happening living in a house too. So it's not like these are exclusive to RV life. Things break in a house too. I remember having to replace the garbage disposal went out. The fan blower on the heater, which then makes the AC work throughout the house, that went out. That one would have been a lot more expensive, but I was able to find a website that actually sold me the replacement fan shroud, and I was able to do it myself. A lot of people were surprised. They're like, you have to be a licensed AC mechanic in order to get that. I'm like, the website didn't ask me. I got the part, swapped it out, was back up and running. So that kind of stuff happens in the RV, in the house, happens in both places. There's just different items that happen. And really the going down the road with your RV, through Colorado, come on Colorado, fix your roads, can accelerate damage to certain things. Anyway, back to work, back to all the things. It's also hot here, and it's not been all that great. We've had nice cool days the last couple of months in the places we've been hiding in the mountains, and now southern Missouri in early October is feeling quite warm, quite toasty. Just a little side note real quick, diversion from dealing with Blackstones. We haven't had Starlink on for a month. It's been disabled because I knew where we were at would not need Starlink. We knew that T-Mobile was a rock star at that campground. It's doing okay here. T-Mobile's kind of waffling on us between good and great and just okay. But where we're going next, just checking everything out, and it looks like there is 0 cell signal whatsoever. Some people said maybe some AT&T if you're lucky. So it's like, well, I think we're going to need Starlink at our next Thousand Trails campground for 3 weeks. So I went ahead and activated it last night, paid my bill to get it up to date for this month. And I just thought, while I'm working on everything, I know I've got a lot to do today. It's real busy, but let's go ahead and take it out, get it up and running, and let it start applying any updates, firmware patches, anything like that that the hardware wants to take care of. Well, we're not depending on it at the moment. Let it handle all that. Get all that stuff applied, reboot itself, all that jazz. Or, you know, some other funny quip. At any rate, just thought I'd just share that with y'all. Now, I did make a video talking about the price increase and how, because I was suspended on my service and they did not tell me of the price increase in the email, when I reactivated it, it's kind of like, it's like you're changing plans. You have all the plans, all the options. There was the ones I could pay $5,000 and get some massive amounts of service, which you would use for, I don't know, serving this whole entire RV park. Plus, like the little priority things, which people were saying are gone, I saw them there. It looked like I can still add those. But it had the $165 plan, and it was like, you're switching plans. Basically switching, meaning I'm going from suspended service to the $165 roam plan. So right now, that's what it's doing. It's activating. It'll apply its updates. We don't need it at the moment. Just figured I'd let y'all know. It's kind of what packing day looks like. Tanya's been doing her art right here. She got all of that packed back up. I always ask her, like, get all your stuff in the bins for me. Would appreciate it. And then I can start fitting it in wherever it goes. She says I have a Lego mind as I piece everything back together, get it all fitting in where every little open space that it can fit into. Yeah, packing day. It's getting windy out here. Don't know how much else I can do as far as recording for you guys, as well as, is this thing going to work for me? Because one of the reasons I had added those windshields on this one was because the wind would come through, blow my flames out. It would get it real inconsistent, and I couldn't cook on it. And yeah, it's getting windy out here. Having to keep knocking the leaves off. I don't have a lid anymore. See, look, leaf on a lid right there. So this is what it looks like after 4 times of seasoning it. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and roll with my first round to cook on some bacon on it. And we will go from there, see how everything goes. But I think we will we'll call it quits right there for today's video. So, like I said, I'm a busy guy, got a lot to do. All right, so I would say most important thing for today, know where your fire extinguisher is. Do you know where your fire extinguisher is? Right inside the door. Right here next to my door is a fire extinguisher. This one's been here for a long time. Some people might be like, oh, that's no good, that's expired. It even had the pin pulled out of it. So the instructions are like, pull the pin. I'm like, the pin's are already gone. But the thing was full, it functioned, and it stopped the fire. So that's good. So while you're thinking about it, wherever you are, house, RV, anywhere, why don't you go look for your fire extinguisher? Check on it. See, is there some kind of expiration date on it? Does everything look intact? Is it there? Is it ready to go? Tanya said she did not even know that it was there. We've got some aprons and stuff kind of hanging over the top of it, but I remembered, it's like, that's where the fire extinguisher is. Grab that real quick. Thankfully, 2 little short sprays, fire was out. Take good care of your Blackstones. Don't let them get all greasy and built up like this guy, so they don't catch on fire, and know where your fire extinguishers are. All right, I think that's all I've got for today. Got to work between this wind and getting the packing day done, make the donuts, make the bacon, cook some steak for everybody to eat. Get ready for the travel day tomorrow. Got 300 miles tomorrow and then about 160 on Sunday to get to our destination for 3 weeks. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. RV life, yeah. Remember, the life happens. Even your Blackstone catching on fire. Don't let that stop you from getting out there and seeing this country. Stay fresh, cheese bags.